Welcome to my latest case, The Curse of Blackmoor Manor. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, choose Gameplay Overview. Dear Ned, greetings from jolly old England. Although right now I'm not so sure about the jolly part. That's because I'm on my way to Blackmoor Manor, where the daughter of one of our neighbors is living. The daughter, whose name is Linda, recently married Hugh Penbellan, a British diplomat. Hugh travels a lot, so the only people at the manor with Linda are Hugh's aunt, Mrs. Drake, and Hugh's 12-year-old daughter, Jane. The thing is, ever since Linda moved into the manor, her health has gone downhill. She's practically bedridden, and no one seems to know why. Her mother is convinced something is terribly wrong and wants me to find out what. So here I am, about to be dropped off at a huge centuries-old mansion in the middle of a dark, foggy moor. I can't tell whether the butterflies in my stomach are because I'm excited or just a tad creeped out. Talk to you soon. I hope. Nancy.
Night, miss, and good luck.
Nancy. Who's there? Hello? There's something out there!
Where, child?
Over there! I mean, something was out there.
Come in. I'm Mrs. Drake. I take it you are Nancy Drew?
Yes, and I really did see something, Mrs. Drake. I heard something, too.
Oh, people are always seeing and hearing things on the moor at night, especially you Americans. Why don't you just go on up to your room? It's the one with the moon on the door.
I'd like to see Linda, if I could.
I'm afraid Linda is, not quite ready to meet with you just now. But please, come see me after you've unpacked. I'll be in the conservatory.
All right, thank you. Can't check that off. Can't check that off.
Oh, Ethel, do I have to learn this?
Yes, I'm afraid you do.
If I do, well, come...
Come back later, please.
I need the key.
Oh, forget it. Stay in Italy as long as you want, then. Some kind of husband you're proving to be. It's not all in my head. Don't bother.
Linda? Hi, it's me, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, our friendly neighborhood detective. Well, welcome to Blackmoor Manor. I apologize for greeting you under such unusual circumstances.
And I'm sorry to have to bother someone in your condition.
My condition? What's my mother told you? What her son-in-law keeps telling me? That it's all in my head? That I'm just an unhappy new bride? That I just need time to adjust? I'm tired all the time, my mouth is dry, my vision is blurry. But that's not important. Here's what's important, Nancy. There are some doors that should never be opened. There are some doors that hold secrets which must never be known. That's everything you need to know. Now if...
Mummy, can I come in?
No, you're supposed to be in your lessons.
Lessons are over. I want to meet Nancy.
I said no, Jane.
Okay.
That was my stepdaughter. She can be such a pest sometimes. Anyway, I understand you feel an obligation to my mother, but trust me, there's nothing you can do. You're welcome to stay, but I strongly recommend that you go home as soon as possible.
I can't go home empty-handed. It might jeopardize my ace detective status. Linda? Okay, I'll let you rest. But I'll be back. I'm here for you if you need me. Oh, it's just a parrot.
Scared ya?
Polly want a cracker?
Not Polly! Lolo! 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 Lolo!
Okay, I get the point. Lulu.
Lolo! 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 Lolo!
Bye, bird.
Felicity! The door! The door!
I need the key. This must be Mrs. Drake's room. Guess she's not in her room.
Polly is a stupid bird! Polly is a stupid bird!
There goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Literally speaking, no, but I did talk to her. Not that she told me anything.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Why is she hiding behind that curtain?
I have no idea. When I was out there last week, I got fed up and pulled the curtain back. She threw a fit, but otherwise she looked absolutely normal. A little pale, perhaps, but who wouldn't be pale, cooped up like that? Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Where is Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although...
Mrs. Petrov? Are you there?
It's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least she didn't used to.
Who exactly is Mrs. Drake?
She's Hugh's aunt. She's taken care of Blackmoor Manor ever since her brother died. He was Hugh's father. She's a bit of a character.
In what way?
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petrov.
Goodbye, Nancy. Oh, one more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
Hi, Ned.
Hey, Nancy.
Just wanted to let you know I got here safely.
So how's Blackmoor Manor?
A little on the spooky side.
How's Mrs. Petrov's daughter?
Next question, please.
That bad, huh?
It's just very strange. She stays in bed hiding behind this curtain all day.
Do you have any idea what the deal is?
Nope.
Well, just keep talking to her. As soon as she knows she can trust you, I'm sure she'll open up.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'm already looking forward to it.
I can't leave Blackmoor yet. Wonder what happened in there. Looks like John Penvellin may have developed some of the plants that are in here himself. Doesn't work. A carnivorous plant. Cool.
All settled in? Good. I'm happy that you're visiting Linda, but I know how much you teenagers like your televisions and loud stereos, so I must insist that you act respectfully and civilly while you stay with us. Since my nephew Hugh is away on business, I am in charge of this household, and if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's noise. Hugh's daughter Jane is staying with us and would very much like to meet you, but please try not to distract her. She has her studies and mustn't be disturbed during her lessons.
Do you know what's wrong with Linda?
Oh, Linda simply needs some time to adjust to her new living situation. England is not the United States. We do things differently, or should I say properly, here. The doctor believes it's just a case of nerves.
Her mother told me she refuses to let anyone see her. Is that true?
I don't know, and the doctors don't know. No one seems to know anything. All I've been told is that Linda is unwell and that in her stead, I must look after matters. Now, please, I really do not have time to entertain you. You may have the run of the house, but do not break anything, and refrain from mucking about with items that aren't yours. 2 rules Jane seems incapable of following. And before I forget, our kitchen is being remodeled, so our dining situation is rather unorthodox. I've made arrangements with a local restaurant to deliver meals to us. There should be a programmed number for them on the phone in your room. Feel free to order whatever you'd like.
I'm concerned about that thing I saw outside.
It was purely your imagination, unless you saw a stray dog. But I will not countenance any histrionics about this issue. We have enough to worry about with Linda. And please do not get any ideas about going outside to investigate. I do not want you tracking mud all over this house.
This place must have quite a history. Where can I learn more?
Go see Nigel in the library. He's going to write a book about our family history.
Can you tell me about Lulu?
Lulu is a very old parrot. She must be over 80 years old. Please be very careful with her, especially if you feed her. Parrots have quite delicate constitutions, you know.
Goodbye.
Run along.
Messing with her plants is probably not a good idea. Do you have allergies, Mrs. Drake?
Oh, yes! Hay fever. Although I'm not at all sure what's worse, my allergies or that medication. It makes me feel as if I'm about to float right out of my shoes. Who's hungry? Who's ready for some nummies?
Did you say something, Mrs. Drake?
Not to you, dear.
Ah yes, are you here from the agency? It's about time.
Agency?
Oh dear, you're not the typist from the spiffy specialty agency, are you? Well, how do you do? I'm Nigel Mukherjee.
I'm Nancy Drew. What are you working on?
I'm researching the Penvillin family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Penvillins. Until now.
Why do you think that is?
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Scandalous history?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say. And then there's the whole business with the Blackmoor beast.
Who was the family member?
Eleanor Penvillin, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650, quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
But she wasn't actually a witch?
Who knows? Lady Penvillin was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor, tolling their charmed chimes.
When I arrived here, I saw some kind of creature with red eyes outside.
Perhaps it was the Blackmoor beast.
What's that?
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the 1600s, many of the villagers reported seeing a strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmoor Manor, Eleanor Penvillin, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature. It was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penvillin secret.
Who are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvillins who owned Blackmoor Manor at one time or another.
Tell me about the Penvillin family treasure.
For centuries, the Penvillins have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Farewell.
Do you mind if I use this computer?
No, not at all. But it's very old. Feel free to use mine if I'm not here.
Who's Alan?
Alan Penvillin was a noted researcher in computers and languages. Jane let me into his computer, but there was nothing much of interest on it.
What's the password?
I'm not sure. Those are mainly Penelope Penvillen's collections of French novels. She was a patron to a raft of artists, and her salon was quite popular. She was quite the libertine, even kept her maiden name after her marriage. Hello, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Goodbye.
Check. Check. That's done. I'm finished with that. I need something else for this.
Hi! You must be Nancy. I'm so pleased you're here. I'm Jane. I know you've come to visit my stepmom, but I'd love it if you could pop by whenever you get the chance. Oh, we'll have such fun. Let's play a game.
Sure, Jane. What would you like to play?
Let's play this card game I found in your room. Actually, it's Bridget's